everyone, and welcome back to another episode, another figure review here on the Take-Two channel. And today I'm starting my festive countdown with a look at McFarlane's Batman and Robin wave, with the Mr. Freeze Build-A-Figure. I'll presume that most viewers here won't need any introduction to McTodd's toys, or the DC line, although you can pause here for a quick read of the file cards, or even this infamous movie's cast. So I'm gonna skip right past the packaging, which actually has a pretty nice red sheen this time, straight to the best part of this wave, then cover some of the usual beats and maybe determine if you should do a take 2 on this movie property. First off, here are all the pieces that you'll get to assemble Victor Freeze and his freeze ray gun, and after you push and twist a few of these pieces together, you get the best figure of this wave, hands down. The face sculpts and face paint apps are the selling point of all the figures, and Arnold's is simply dead on from any angle. Uma Thurman's Poison Ivy is a strong second, with very distinct facial features and nicely detailed leaves on her outfit, while Alicia and Chris come in next with their Batgirl and Robin, and Clooney's is probably the weakest of the lot, since the lip smirk didn't quite come across 100%. Now, if you know McTodd toys, you'll come to expect nothing less from the McDonald's of action figures, with their great consistency in sculpting detail as usual, right down to the batsuit nipples and Alicia's chubbier waist. But in a sign of the times, it looks like inflationary pressures have finally caught up with Todd as well. These figures are now $25 a pop, and more so if you're late to the party now. And yet there's pretty much almost zero paint apps across all the figure bodies except for Poison Ivy, but even her hair could have used a nice dark wash to really make her colors pop. Or perhaps some reflective silver for Arnold's suit, which would really have been the icing on the cake. Wink wink nudge nudge. The articulation is pretty standard for McFarlane DC figures at this point, with all the usual swivels, dumbbells, and butterfly joints in all the standard places. And while I like how the bicep cuts for Poison Ivy are nicely concealed, and her ugly tie swivels are skipped for swivel ankles instead, the plastic quality on these figures are another area that signal budget cuts. I didn't mind that the super thin capes made for easy removal from their plastic prisons, but when Arnold's pauldrons don't stay in place because of how rubbery they are, or when Clooney's ankles come straight bent out of the package, it really doesn't bode well for the rest of the retail action figure offerings out there. Check out my other video review at the end of this for Jada's Chun-Li, which is at a similar price point, and you can see how much McFarlane skimped out on these figures. Hopefully Jada's next wave still retains its quality, but I do think it's really going to be tough ahead in the new year for lots of toy retailers. The figures are also pretty bare on accessories if you don't count the Arnold parts, with just some freeze effects for Batman and Robin, although surprisingly these are not as gummy as the freeze ray gun, and some of the gauntlet spikes are actually pretty pointy, so just be careful with these. I'll probably end up using the freeze effects with Froster if you didn't already realize that I'm a Motu fan, but I'm not much of a Batman fan, with the Bandai Batpot and Soap Studios figures as my only other Batman purchases. If you're a die-hard Batman fan, I think the figures are worth getting just for the face sculpts alone. But otherwise, it's a bit of a mixed bag considering what paint and plastic quality we got a decade ago, or even just a couple of years ago. Hopefully you found this review helpful for your purchase considerations, and if so, do hit the like and the bell, and I'll see you guys around again soon. Thanks for taking the time. Appreciate it.